We got some Ravens trade rumors to look at on today's show. We're about 3, 4, 5 days away from NFL free agency. It's going to be an absolute blast. I cannot wait to cover it for each and every single one of you guys. But I want us to kind of get our bearings, okay? Get the rumors out, talk about them, talk about what I would like to do. And I'd also love to hear what you guys would want to do as well. Before we get into any of the content, I got 3 questions for you, okay? And we're going to play a game. If you answer yes to all 3 things, then you got to subscribe, okay? Do you want daily coverage? Every single day we put a video out right here on the channel. Do you love the Ravens? That should be an easy yes. And do you love free things? Okay, I like to consider myself a little bit frugal, not cheap, frugal. There's a difference. Part of that is I love things being free, okay? And if you agree with me and you love all those other things, then go ahead, hit that sub button, and join us today right here on the Ravens Rundown. So let's talk trade targets. Number 1, wide receiver out of Seattle, Mr. DK Metcalf. This one, there were rumors about it the end of last week. Then it came down officially. Was it yesterday, Jack, or was it 2 days ago? Yeah, yesterday he officially requested a trade. And NBC Sports in the Bay Area, they linked the Baltimore Ravens as possible trade targets. They said, but unlike Herbert and Allen, throwing to quality wide receiver ones in the past, Ravens multi-time MVP Lamar Jackson has yet to do so throughout his entire career. Baltimore's wide receiver depth chart has too often been underwhelming, while Derrick Henry's arrival helped move the needle and supply Jackson with more talent. So this was the official announcement yesterday from Tom Pelissero, saying that 2-time Pro Bowl wide receiver DK Metcalf has requested a trade, and the Seahawks have agreed to explore options. Before we talk about him for just a little bit more, you let me know in the comment section, just off the rip, should the Ravens trade for DK Metcalf? If you think so, give me a T for trade. And if you think not, go ahead, give me a P for pass. Diana Rossini gave us a little bit more enlightenment this morning. And this puts a lot of things into perspective, in my opinion. She said the Seahawks are seeking a 1st and 3rd round pick for wide receiver DK Metcalf. Per sources, Metcalf is also eyeing a new contract worth around $30 million a year. Multiple teams have inquired. That's too much, in my opinion, for DK Metcalf. That's far too much, okay? A 1st and a 3rd round pick. Like, I get it, DK. You're a really good receiver. But, like, in my opinion, a 1st and a 3rd are for guys like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, right? Those are the 2 best wide receivers in football, in my opinion. DK Metcalf is top 7, top 8, top 10, right? He's really good. I would love to see him in this offense, but I don't know if he's top 2. And a 1st and a 3rd, that's like top 2 wide receiver in my opinion. I'd be comfortable giving up a 2nd and 4th, okay? I can meet you at 2 draft picks, especially because Baltimore has so many going into this year. They're currently sitting at 11 picks. I don't think they'll be there when the draft actually comes. So I'd be willing to give up a 2nd or 4th, not a 1st and a 3rd. And the thing you got to look at too is he's going to want to get paid. And you look at the highest paid wide receivers per year, Jefferson's at the top with 35, CD's second with 34, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 3rd and 4th. I can kind of expect him, in my opinion, to be in that A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown type of number, okay? I think he'll be somewhere around $30 to $32 million. And if Baltimore trades for Metcalf, he'll get a 2-year extension. The new contract, in my opinion, would look somewhere like A.J. Brown's, $97 million, $85 million guaranteed. Like I said, structured like A.J.'s. His is 3 years, $96 million with $84 million guaranteed. You could talk me into, a little bit less, 3 years, $93 million, $31 million a year. But when I talk about structuring like A.J. Brown's, I'm talking about what Philadelphia has done for their future, okay? And when you look at the cap hits, they are not very high right now. They get higher as the years go on. And that's because what Philadelphia is doing is they know they're competing for Super Bowls. They don't want to hamstring themselves to massive cap hits, massive contracts. And they're kind of saying, you know what? We're just going to worry about this along down the road. And I've talked about this. I talked about it a couple weeks ago when we made the video about the NFL salary cap. But Nielsen has now started to measure ratings from streaming services, okay? And the Sunday Ticket, YouTube TV, that's going to make the salary cap go way up. So I think Baltimore's going to have a lot more money to play with in the next couple of years. And so that's why, in my opinion, if you are going to extend DK Metcalf's contract after you trade for him, you do it how they did A.J. Brown's. Who's your guy? Let me know in the comment section down below. Name a player that you want the Ravens to trade for, okay? It could be a wide receiver. It can be an edge rusher. It can be anyone. Just let me know in the comment section down below. Coming up, we got one more trade target to talk about for Baltimore. This one, going to give you a hint. It's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. It's not a name that we've heard a ton. I figured it'd be worth diving into, but what's worth diving into is this deal that we've got right now going on at Fanatics, okay? You can go to chatsports.com/Ravens t-shirt and get this awesome purple rising look to it Ravens t-shirt for only $20. It's 33% off, okay? That deal is not going to last for long, so to make sure you guys take advantage of it, that way you guys get swagged out as the temperature starts rising. You know, it's getting a little bit hotter. We're shedding the layers. We're starting to wear t-shirts. You're going to start going to the beach soon. If you want to be the coolest guy, girl, I don't care, on the face of the planet, you're going to want to snag this, okay? Again, it was $30. It's now $20. You make the move. Chatsports.com/Ravens t-shirt. You can find that link in the comments and description of today's video. Let's talk second trade target, shall we? Okay, we talked DK Metcalf. How about Jonathan Allen, defensive lineman for the Washington Commanders? And as of last week at the Combine, Adam Peters, the Commanders' general manager, spoke to the media then and announced the news that he is giving permission to Allen to seek a trade. Allen's been with the Commanders for his entire career. His 8-year career, he's had a lot of really big success, but just a little bit too much money, and I think Washington's going to want to move on from that. And this is coming yesterday. Brandon tweeted this out saying, the Commanders will release Jonathan Allen if they're unable to find a trade partner. The move would save $16.3 million in cap space. So when I look at Jonathan Allen, when I look at his career, when I look at his production, when I look at what he could be in this defense for this team, I don't think it's worth it to trade for him and take on that contract, okay? And I kind of have a feeling a lot of people are going to agree with me. A lot of teams are going to agree with me. And I don't think that anyone is going to trade for Allen and take on that contract, okay? My guess is that he's going to be cut. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that this is a guy who's 30 years old, and he missed half the season this past year. Now, he made an awesome comeback towards the end of the season, played in the playoffs, but still, he just did not have that great of a year, okay? 3 sacks in 8 games. If you look back, it just seems like he's regressing year over year. What was 9 sacks turned to 7.5. That turned to 5.5. That turned to 3, okay? Now, he wouldn't be very expensive. I will say that. The projected contract to sign Jonathan Allen, if he gets cut and not traded, would be 1 year, $10 million. Heck, you could sign me up for that. Okay? You could sign me up for that in a heartbeat. I would take a 1-year flyer on Jonathan Allen without thinking twice about it. Now, he's not your edge rusher, sack getter that you necessarily would want in this defense, but I think if you look at what Philadelphia did in the Super Bowl, okay, from their interior all the way to the exterior of their defensive line, just getting better in the trenches in any sense of the word is very, very helpful, okay? And I think Jonathan Allen could help you do that, and he wouldn't be that expensive. Pick one of those 2 targets that I just talked about to trade for, okay? Give me a DK Metcalf or Jonathan Allen. If you want DK, type DK in the comment section. And if you want Jonathan Allen, go ahead and give me a JA. Thanks so much for watching. Really do appreciate every single one of you guys that support us right here on the Ravens Rundown. Just to let you know, okay, we will be so busy this next couple weeks, okay? The NFL free agency is only getting started. We've got a ton of moves that are going to happen. We'll be right here covering it all right here on the Ravens Rundown. It's free to do so, does not cost you a dime, helps us out a ton. So if you would be so kind to subscribe to us, lock us in, because you are lucky enough to have stumbled upon the best Ravens YouTube channel on this platform. Lock us in, hit that sub button.